friends, Krista here. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams. Today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I read in September, and there are only 4 of them. September was a really slow reading month for me, and in part that's because I went to the Dominican Republic for 8 days, and leading up to that trip I was doing a lot of packing and preparing to go. So I'm not sad about the fact that I only read 4 books, but it's a much smaller month, that's for sure. The first book that I finished was an audiobook that I had started really in August, and that is Auschwitz Lullaby by Mario Escobar. This book is a historical fiction YA about Helene Hanneman, who is a German woman who is married to a Romani or gypsy husband, and they have 5 children. One day the German police arrive at her home to arrest and take her children and her husband to the gypsy camp at Birkenau. She refuses to leave them and ends up going along. And it just tells the story of this woman named Helene. She is a real woman who existed and ran a nursery or the kindergarten at Birkenau. We also learn about that horrible German doctor, Mengele, M-E-N-G-E-L-E, I don't know how to pronounce his name, who did horrible experiments on children who were in these concentration camps. And so we learn a lot about what he did, and it's horrifying. I didn't realize at first when I was listening to it that this is a YA. I could tell very quickly though, because the writing was rather simplistic, and even though the events and the themes of this book are pretty heavy, it was all told in a rather light way, which at times had me rolling my eyes. But overall, I did enjoy it. I listened to it on audio, as I said, but then the Fiction Guild sent me this one just a couple days ago, so I'm actually going to be doing a giveaway for this book. So if this is something that you would like, I would love to send it to you. I think this could be enjoyed by anybody who likes YA historical fiction. So if that's your thing, just in your comment down below, add that you are interested in Auschwitz Lullaby or interested in the giveaway, and I will make sure to include you in that. But that is the first book that I completed in September. Then the other 3 were all on my TBR for the month, which is pretty good. I did 2 of them as buddy reads. Actually, all of them involved other people because one was my Goodreads read along and then the other 2 were buddy reads. So I will just start. I think the next one I finished was Beartown by Fredrik Backman, and I loved this book. It was a definite 5-star for me, which is so funny because it's a book about hockey. But really, hockey is just the framework for this small town and the relationships within this small town. Backman has such a wonderful way of drawing you right into its characters. He writes the best characters. I've said that before, and I'll say it again. And there are a lot of characters in this book, and I know some people had trouble keeping everybody straight, but that's not something that I dealt with when I read this. It was really frustrating, though, as someone who's not particularly athletic. I used to participate in sports when I was a kid, but it's one of those situations where the town ultimately bends over backwards for the hockey team. They kind of are stars in their own little world, and everything in this small town in the middle of cold, I believe it's somewhere in Sweden that this takes place. Things that I liked about this is that throughout the book, Backman often deals with other deeper issues as well, and he kind of like philosophizes throughout the book. Also, the first sentence, the first chapter really has to be the best first chapter, first sentence I've ever read in any book. It's fantastic. Also, at the end of most of the chapters, there was like a mic drop moment. The last sentence or leading up to the last sentence would be something profound or something that foretells what's coming up in the next chapter, or just kind of wraps up that chapter in this concise little sentence. And it was just really cool. I kept commenting on that. But I had so many quotes. I would like to read this again and even underline things because I don't typically annotate books, but this would be a really good one to annotate. So if you have not read this book yet, maybe because you think, I don't care about hockey at all. That's me. I don't care about hockey at all. And I absolutely loved this book. Oh, Backman is definitely flying up there as one of my favorite authors ever. Another book that I finished this month is a group buddy read that I did through Voxer, and that is The Book of Lost Things by John Connolly. This was a good fall time read because it was pretty dark. It revolves around this little boy named David whose mother has passed away and his dad has remarried and had another child. David is not very happy about it at all. Very jealous, very angry, thinks that everything is going to change and that everyone's going to forget his mother. Things begin to get a little strange and David ends up going to this other world where there is a very dark twist on a lot of different fairy tales. And I loved that part of it. It was very cool, sometimes humorous, to just learn about this world and these other characters that are in it. It's pretty dark, it's pretty grim, it's pretty brutal. But David really grows a lot through that experience. It's kind of adventurous as well. He has to kind of go on an adventure and defeat crazy beasts and things like that. I really did enjoy this, and I loved chatting and hearing the thoughts of other people in the group that I was reading with as well. And it has a gorgeous cover, which is always a plus. So this one was really cool. I think I gave it 4 stars. And finally was my Goodreads read-along pick for September. It wasn't quite as good as those other 2, but I did also give it 4 stars, and that is The Wonder by Emma Donoghue. This is about a little girl in Ireland who hasn't eaten anything for 4 months. So they say. This nurse, Lib, is tasked to go and be part of this team of watchers who are just simply there to observe this girl and find out what's going on. Is this truly a miracle? Is there somehow a way that she's getting some food? It's Lib's job to kind of just observe and find out. Lib is a very unlikable character, especially at the beginning. She has a lot of prejudices, a lot of suspicions. She's suspicious of everybody. Actually, most of the characters in this book are pretty unlikable, to be honest. There's not very many redeeming characters in this book, but throughout this time, it's a 2-week period that Lib is to be there observing. Throughout this time, she grows a lot. She changes in regards to her opinions and the way she deals with people a little bit. I found the ending to kind of wrap up in a way that was a little bit, maybe not unexpected, but a little too pretty of a wrap up of the ending of this. So I didn't quite love the ending, but I did love the writing. I really enjoyed Emma Donoghue, the way she told this story. And I liked the conversations about faith that happened in here. I don't know that there was ever much resolution to them, but I enjoyed those discussions that were in here as well. So those are the 4 books that I read in September. Pretty quick, pretty short wrap up this month. Overall, I loved these 2 and enjoyed this one, and this one was okay too. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that and would love to hear your thoughts if you've read any of these down in the comments. Don't forget to also let me know if you're interested in the giveaway for Auschwitz Lullaby, and I will be talking to you soon in another video. Bye! Today I'm going to be telling you the books of